Welcome back to Caray's Cabin. Today we're going somewhere a little bit special to me. So where part of my family grew up. We're going to walk around in a little bit of woodland in Robertsbridge, East Sussex. Let's jump into the video. Right, we've arrived. We're at the recreation ground in Robertsbridge, so let's start having a walk around. Straight away, we found something that can forage. Just drop my stick on the floor there. It's these lovely little berries here, and the leaves as well. You can forage. This is a rowan. So it's a rowan berry. My dad used to call these bread and cheese. Also known as famine berries. They're very bland. Great if you make them with ketchup and make ketchup and sauces with them. But just a seed you want to throw away. The rest of it you can eat. Also we've got here another one of my favourites. Blackberries. Wonder what that was then. It's my bag. If you can see down there, zoom in a little bit. Down in the banks of the river, some rose bay willow herb. Now, I went to school in Robertsbridge, secondary school, and I remember when it rained a lot, the banks of the river burst and it flooded part of the village. Also, I've just found some more here. This is a type of rose hip. Make rose hip jelly with that. Now we come in here. I'm going to go out the other gate. There's a little play park they've got here. The cricket ground over there. I've played on this many times, and I've also been to a bonfire society and firework display here as well. And they come marching through there, the bonfire boys from various different districts, and yeah, so they march through here. There's a big massive bonfire and a load of fireworks, but there's the old cricket ground down there, and we're going to be walking. Watch where I'm putting my camera because there's children about. My kids have gone back to school. Well, my eldest's gone back to school today. My youngest has had dental surgery, so he's not going back today. He's got to wait to recover and then he can go back. I'm going to take you over here. So I can show you this rose bay willow herb. Let me just get here. There we go. Get a bit closer. It's hidden in the bulrushes there. We've got the bulrushes. My dad used to play in the river there. Now it's not a big river, but it does join up to another part of it called the River Rother, which that's still the River Rother, but it's more like a stream than a river. Lots of long grass, football field. Now this is where they had the bonfire. Massive bonfire, good 10-15 feet, and then they just set off the fireworks and people come from all around Sussex to watch it. Robertsbridge bonfire is definitely my favourite. Apparently Lewis was the biggest Robertsbridge is my favourite. Yeah. We will be going over that way there. I don't know if you can see, where is it there? And under the railway bridge, we will go over there in a moment. There we go. I want to thank Car Crazy in Silver Hill in Hastings for the new t-shirts. Brilliant price, great turnaround. Can't fault the work on it at all. And I'm going to do a giveaway of one of these shirts when we get to our 1,000 followers. I can tell you. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this in a video before. This is Teasel, and it got its name because of what it was used for. Right, I'm just going to pause it so I can grab it. So we've got a little bit of the teasel off, and it got its name because it was used to tease the fibres of the wool, make little brushes. But I see why it works so well, because it does a brilliant job of brushing my beard and making it nice and soft, separating the little hairs out from each other. You have to use a knife to get it off, because I've prickled myself in the hand because I forgot to bring my knife. Oh well, what can we do about that then? And again, as you can see, we've got more and more blackberries, elderberry. Have we got any berries left on it? Mountain ash as well. Now we come through here. Now that bit will take you back towards the cricket ground, and we're going to go under this old railway bridge. I think that's from the steam railway line. There we go. Cross over here. You see this nice little berry here? Do anybody know what it is? Just give you that little bit of extra time there. Just see if you can look it up in your books. If you know, leave it in the comment below. But I'm going to tell you now, so here's spoiler alert. It's a Guelder rose. Now the bark and other parts of the plant are used to treat premenstrual cramps, anxiety, insomnia. Apparently it can be used in cancer treatment as well. So it's a lovely little plant used in herbal medicine, the Guelder rose. See if we can find any of that nasty plant that I don't like. Let's go this way. Oh look, there's loads and loads here. I'll be able to walk through here with the peoples. Pop quiz. Does anybody know what this is? Leave it in the comments below. So spoiler alert, here comes the answer. It is a Himalayan balsam. The young leaves can be used in salads, as can the flowers. But the older leaves, which these would be, were best used to make soups and stews. And you can collect the seeds by putting a bag over and shaking. And it will shake the seeds out the pods loose. But try and get as many pods as you can in the bag. Now, in the description there will be some information about the little village of Robertsbridge. As honestly, I do not know too much about it. I do not know who Robert was or why it was his bridge. And that particular joke was for you, Jesse, because I know what you're like. But again, I want to thank Jesse and Lisa at Lazy Days Ahead for their shout out on their mail call. And I've just got to come through all of this here to show you guys this particular flower. See if you guys know what it is. So this plant is a common toadflax, commonly known as eggs and butter, or butter and eggs, and it's used as a diuretic to help with urinary tract infections, or to help with swelling of the urinary tract, as it is really high in diuretic compounds. Wow, I think I'm going to have to start filling up my bag to make some hawthorn ketchup. So look at all the hawthorns on this tree. I'm going to collect a load and come back when I've collected some. So we're carrying on our walk. I've collected a load of hawthorns, hawthorn berries. I didn't just take the berries this time, because I found out that the leaves are good for heart health, so I'm going to use them to make a tea or something. I'll find some use for them as well. There's the hawthorn, sorry, a bit close there. I had to push my glass up. The hawthorn is a very good plant to use for heart conditions. My partner has it for her not anxiety, angina. My brain's all over the place at the moment, so is the camera. But yeah, she has that in a tea that she has. I've lived by what I've said before, not to take anything, all your foraging from one place. Leave 2/3 of what you find. So there's 2 trees nearby there, but that tree where we just got some from, there it is. There you go. It's still got loads on it. So I didn't take more than 1/3. I only took what I needed. There's still plenty around. If you look over yonder there, you can see that tree is absolutely full of them as well. I think it's awesome. And even this little tree here's got some on it. Now, hawthorn is similar to a blackthorn that gives us slow berries, but I found out on a tree course, not only the way to tell them apart is by the berries that they produce, but the blackthorn flowers before the hawthorn, but then the hawthorn flowers quickly and berries up really quickly, whereas the slow berries are meant to come a bit later, but this year they've been quite early. But yeah, the berries and the leaves, you can tell them apart. The blossoms on the slow blackthorn meant to come in sooner. Now I'm hoping I can get round to there on a footpath, because I know there's snakes in this grass. I know that. So yes, there's a footpath. I want to just take my camera, because I'm using the phone to video. I'll take the camera and get a picture of the butter and eggs toad flax. This here is Ragwort, and although it's a great thing for cinnabar moths, it's poisonous to livestock, and a lot of people get rid of it. But it does help with the population of pollinators. Right, so there's some toad flax of butter, and I'm just going to take a picture with the camera. So, sure, if we keep going and going, we can keep walking. There will be, not Mountfield, Salehurst in that sort of direction. If you go towards that direction, behind all the schools and past the Darval Community, who are amazing working with the hands. I went to school with a few of them in the later years, and they were amazing. They actually make toys and that for children as well. It's brilliant. They're wooden toys. So if you look them up, it's Darval, D-A-R-V-E-L, the Darval Community. They're brilliant. But if you walk off that way, you get to Neverfield, Ninfield. You can keep going and going through there, go that way, and then if we head that sort of direction, there's Battle, John's Cross, Hastings, Catsfield, Westfield. But I've been walking about 45 minutes now, and now if I was to stop and go through all the history pieces that I'm going to dig out, all the history that I can find out about Robertsbridge and all the uses for the plants that we're going to be looking at, I'm sure I can stretch that to our 2-hour walk from around this tree. Oh, look at that nice oak tree here with an abundance of acorns growing on. So it's definitely a bumper oak year. There's so many big acorns. What we're going to do is going to follow this lightly trodden path back round and head back towards Robertsbridge. And I might take you guys with me. I'll go park up in the village, and we'll go walk in the village, see if we can find a cup of tea. That all depends if they let me film. But it's so lovely walking through these fields. So many acorns on the oak trees. It's brilliant. Thought I'd bring my journey stick. This is the last time my journey stick will look like this, as I've got a few more bits and pieces to add onto it. I've got some acorns which I've got thread together. I've also got a hand turned acorn that was made for us by one of our volunteers partners. I've also got the more feathers from a pheasant, one from a flamingo that hasn't had the colour change because he's not had the shrimp and prawns diet. An ibis was another one. But I've got a whole load of feathers to add to this, and some other bits and pieces to add to this as well. So this is the last time it looks like this. And when we eventually move back to the property where we're meant to be, instead of the temporary accommodation, I'm going to take this down the cabin, and I'm going to use my soldering iron. I'm going to put some designs in my stick. So I'm going to cut through here. We're going to abide by the country code, and we're going to lock the gate behind us. So somebody's put a bit of rope on here, bungee cord, so it pulls the gate shut, because obviously people have been forgetting to shut the gate behind them. And no, this is not Robertsbridge, as we're just going to climb up onto. Ooh. just going to follow this path. Got the nettles. Nettle seeds, I love nettle seeds. It's like a caffeine fix, but all natural. So this has just been a little pocket of Robertsbridge, and Robertsbridge is a small village, but it's only as small as you make it. If you stay on the commercial side with the shops and the cafes and people's houses, it is a rather small place. If you venture out on the footpaths, the woodlands, the recreational ground, it's a lot bigger than people think. And I'm hoping, if I've taken this right, we can get down to, yeah, I think we're near the old mill that my dad kept telling me about. It's got a lovely apple tree by it, where he used to go and get apples when he was a kid. And lo and behold, I can hear the stream rushing, or the river rushing. But also just over there, there's a trodden in bit there. There is an apple tree. I'm just going to come and, we're only going to take one for now. The tree's covered in lichen. Let's have one that's not got a hole in. Perfect. There we go. Nice Robertsbridge apple. And there's loads and loads on the tree, so that's fine. This is probably the place where my dad would hang out as a kid, because he also told me about how he doesn't get reacted by a giant hogweed. He used to make whistles out of it. But where we've just walked, the remnants of dried out giant hogweed. So let's polish it a little bit. Never understood why you have to polish apples. Obviously not the ones you get in the supermarket. It's best to wash them off because they're covered in wax. But lovely sweet apple. This has got to be the place where my dad hung out as a kid. There's hundreds of apples. There's giant hogweed. It looks like there's places you can make den. There's a eucalyptus tree there. Thank you for the apple. Sorry, I just saw something I wanted to show you guys. That I'll show. It's good apple, sorry. Show my volunteers every time we see it. Down there, you see a little spot of orange. Now that is an arum lily, or cuckoo pint, or lords and ladies, and it has lots of other names as well. It's a highly poisonous one. Very pretty, and the little red bits on it look like little jelly beans. But if you see it, don't let your kids touch it, or your dogs and that touch it. Just keep them away. And there you can see it's part of the River Rother. That must mean the old mill is round here, because I see a building but I can't see what it is. And here is the giant hogweed. See how thick the stem is on that, and how big it's getting. It's definitely the giant hogweed. So this is definitely the place my dad was telling me about, in the shadows of the old mill, where he used to go fishing, go scrumping for apples, making whistles out of giant hogweed. There we go. It's all abandoned and that now. I don't know if you can get over there, or if it's, we can get a bit closer to the river here. And there's a gully you can get in, but I'm not going to go all the way down, because knowing my luck I won't get back up. You can see all the algae pushing down to this end. I'm going to take a picture of this, so I'm just going to pause you guys for a minute. So this is part of my dad's childhood. This is stuff that he never really shared with me, which I think I would have loved. Now I took you around a bit that was off the path. So we're going to carry on travelling off the path. Because now I've had this lovely sweet juicy apple, I don't need to go to the shop. All the roads lead to the same place, so must be all boarded up and protected. But that's the old mill my dad always used to tell me about. And we saw the stream where I used to go fishing, and come down here, you get the bread and cheese, rowan berries, the apples. You'd make whistles out of giant hogweed, which unfortunately I'm not going to take the chance to try it, because it'd just be my sort of luck that, oh, this would be a perfect place to fish on this corner here, right on the bend. That's awesome. Yeah, because knowing my luck, I'll go to make whistles out of it and I'll have a reaction. So I've never been in this little bit. I've walked the recreation ground, I went down the woods into them fields. I think I stayed more towards the village side. Look at that, the balsams, different colours. It's awesome. Buddleia. I think I stayed more the village. But now I'm reintroducing myself into nature a bit more. Definitely like this area more. Not just because it's peaceful, because you do have the train tracks going off, but you find stuff like this. Just the way that tree's grown, how limbs have come off and then gone up and swirled off everywhere, and how you could be absolutely anywhere at all. Now I'm wondering, and there's a train track, how far I've actually walked out of the village. If I ended up at Salehurst, or if I'm still in Robertsbridge. Not that it matters, I've got a few hours before I've got to pick the elder kids up. Now I've had the apples, I'm going to have some more blackberries. I think nature will provide. I'm learning that more and more. So it's about lunchtime and I'm walking around, and nature's providing with nettle seeds, rowan berries, blackberries, apples. Not rowan berries, what am I on about? Rowan berries. I got that wrong at the beginning of the video as well, didn't I? Hawthorn berries. Rose hips. Rose hips are a good one because they are so full of vitamin C. They have more vitamin C than an orange. One day I'm going to get some acorns. I'm going to make some acorn coffee and see what that tastes like. I'm going to make it my life now, my life's work. I'm going to have to pause it a second, wipe it 1 second. That's it. My life's little mission now, not to just do my community volunteers to help other people and do stuff outside, but to learn more and see more. Now we've got to a bit where I'm a little lost. Oh no, I'm not. I know exactly where I am. Back where we started. On this side of the bridge. Because we went that way, we went out into the field, over the back there, back round to the mill, and back this way. So I think I've planned the walk quite well. Now that part of it's all smudged, so let's wipe the camera again. How's that? Is that a bit better? It's the only problem when I don't have my special stick. I might see if I could put the selfie bit on my journey stick, so I can walk with one hand free to collect stuff, and you guys attached to the journey stick, so you'd be sort of that sort of height while we're walking. Let's see if that'll work. Might be a bit wobbly though, so I might have to get something to stabilise it. But look, we're back in to the recreation ground, on the cricket ground. And there was plenty to see and plenty to do. I might even be nice to the village of Robertsbridge that gave me an education and some lessons in my life, and bring a litter picker and some bags with me and do a litter pick for them while I'm here on Friday. But for now, that has been a little pocket of Robertsbridge, a part that's been in my family for generations. My dad, his dad, so we've been around the Battle area and the Robertsbridge area. Some of my uncles, and now my sons go to school, they're high school, secondary school. So from me, have a lovely day, stay safe, and I'll see you later.